Hello friends, and welcome to our channel Creating Essence. I am Megan. Thank you so much for stopping by today. I've had so many questions about how I get my lesson planning done, and I'm taking care of it for this coming week, so I figured I would bring you all along and show you how I do it. This top row right here in the big messy cube organizer in the schoolroom is where my school-age kids keep their individual baskets, which I will show you are out on the table. Kids brought these out for me to go ahead and get the planning done. So they're all lined up, and I'm just gonna work through one basket at a time to get everyone's work planned for this coming week. So each of my kids has their own binder like this that they have folders in for various projects and papers to keep. But in this front pocket, I always put their planner sheet for the week. So they always know their assignments for each day. These are just a sheet that I created on Google Docs. It's nothing fancy, it just happens to fit the format, except my older daughter needs another row right here now, so I just add one with pen when I get to her sheet. I print off 5 of them every week, one for each school-age child and one for the group subjects that we all do together. All set. My 4th grader is completely planned for the whole week, and she can work at her own pace and get help when she needs it. I will just go ahead and do all the rest of them this way, flipping through their books, checking in on all the lessons that need to be done for this week, so I'm prepared if there's anything in particular that I need to look up or prepare myself for. And everything is all set and organized for the week ahead. So all the individual work is planned out, and now I've moved on to what we call group subjects. We keep all the supplies for those subjects in this basket, and I have this form filled out for planning that. We do block scheduling with our history and science, all grades together, so it's preschool through 8th grade. That might sound crazy, but it really does work well. I talked quite a bit about that in a video about how we do group subjects that I will link in the info box below. Mondays and Wednesdays we'll do history. Tuesday and Thursday we will do science, and each of those days is a 1-hour block of those subjects. Bible is really just our quick morning devotion that we start the day with, and we do all together. Because we do a 4-day school week, every other Friday is our big bi-weekly shopping day, and the in-between Fridays are what we call Fun Friday. Fun Fridays are when we do our science projects, history projects, we watch movies related to what we've done that week. If someone has finished a reading book for the week and there's a movie that coincides, we'll watch that. We do our arts those days, our handicrafts, all sorts of things. They may be related, they may be not, but we spend about as long as we would on schoolwork in a day on those special fun things. Those are also the days that we go on trips to the zoo or different field trip type of get-togethers with other friends. So I'll be planning out these subjects, and as I go through these group subjects, I'll take notes down here for Fun Friday pertaining to any projects or anything that we need to do in group subjects. First up is history, and we use Story of the World. So on Monday we will start out listening to the audiobook. Yes, I spoiled myself and got the audiobook for the textbook, so that reading is done to the kids for me. We will listen to the audiobook for chapter 10, and then we will follow the reference guide for the reading in these 2 other texts that go along with it. But I will also go through this book, and I go through the glossary in the back and look up terms pertaining to what we will be studying. I have lots of little paper tabs throughout this book, and I will just go through and mark the spots to what we will be working on so that it's really easy to just open up and do a little more reading here. A lot of times if it's several pages, I will write that down as an assignment for the bigger kids to read independently and talk to me about on our next history day. In our history book here, it makes suggestions for projects and different things to go with each chapter. So those are the things that I'll write down here for Fun Friday. One of the suggestions for ancient China is to make a clay bowl. I do happen to have the supplies for that, so I'll write that down here for Fun Friday. In the chapter that we'll be covering on Wednesday, there's also a craft project for making a fun little spider statue. So that would be something I think would really interest my kids, especially the younger ones. And I can make it more interesting for the bigger ones by adding in paint and different more complicated things. So I'll add that down too. Now we have our science book here, and I'll just flip through however many pages it is we're going to be covering. And at the end of each one, it has notebooking activities and different projects you can do pertaining to that. And those things I will write down for Fun Friday as well. You may not necessarily get to every single thing on the Fun Friday list, but it'll be a great guide to keep us busy, and I can look now to make sure that we have all the supplies. For Bible, we're currently working through our 24 family ways. This week is really easily laid out for you with day 1 through day 5. You start by asking questions, you read a short passage, you talk about that passage and what it means, and you say a prayer. And then each week has a memory verse as well to work on the full week, and it all is in theme. So all of that is really easily laid out for me already. And I will just write down in my planning box what the scripture reading is for each one, so that I can have that prepared and pulled up before we sit down. And then on Fun Friday, we will test on the memory verse. And that is it. Everything for my whole family for homeschooling is planned for the week, and it took me 45 minutes. That's really not bad. I take some time every Saturday with my regular planner and plan out my week. I look at the weather forecast for each day to see if that impacts what we'll be doing, where we'll be going, if we have any appointments or commitments for each day, to see how that may impact things. I do that every Saturday so that every Sunday I can sit down real quick and get my lesson planning done with a full picture of what things look like. I would love to hear, if you're a homeschooler, how you do your lesson planning. I know a lot of people do a whole bunch way in advance. I just find that doing it weekly really helps me stay on track better, because if we miss a day here or there, or something doesn't go right, or if a kid's particularly struggling, I decide to just put that down for the day and walk away and come back to it another day. They don't feel behind because every single thing is messed up after that. Let me know if you have any questions about how or why I do things. I would love to answer them. Thank you all so much for hanging out with me today. If you like this video, as always, give us a thumbs up, share this if you think anyone might find it useful, and subscribe for more videos like this. We'll see you again soon.